everyone, it's Sharana from Pay Your Weight, and today I'm going to be reviewing the HBO documentary film Wildcard: The Downfall of a Radio Loudmouth. So this film is directed by Martin Dunn and Marie McGovern, and it centers around the rise and fall of a prominent New York sports radio personality, Craig Carton, and really just how, man, gambling is dangerous, you guys. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I tell you what I enjoyed about the film, what I didn't like about the film. Is it worth your time or not watching? So for me, this was an interesting watch because I've heard of the Boomer and Carton show, but I didn't watch it like that. I'm not a huge watch SportsCenter all day type of person, but it was very interesting to go into this blindly, not really knowing the story of how this guy with this successful radio show could literally be arrested by the FBI for securities and wire fraud. And so going into what I enjoyed about this documentary is I think they do a really great job of keeping it engaging from beginning to end, kind of easing you into how Craig really rose to the status that he was, you know, at the height of his career before he went to jail, and really how he really got this show, Boomer and Carton, how it all started, how it became popular. It was interesting watching that. But really where this film is the most engaging is when they get into his gambling addiction, how it started, how everything just kind of spiraled out of control from literally a random bet on a show, just took it to a whole entirely new level. And I think that's what was fascinating to watch, how they actually have professionals who talk about gambling addiction to really help you understand why it's so dangerous. There's a comparison that they use in the documentary about how, you know, with drugs, you can only do so much drugs at one time, right? Like you can only do so much. But with gambling, there's no health concerns. Like, you're just sitting there just getting this rush and having to feed it. Each time you win, you just want to chase that feeling. I thought that they did a really great job of showing the audience how dangerous this addiction was for Craig. And I thought that was very enjoyable to watch. But also, too, to watch how he lived these double lives as they interview his co-workers, as they interview, I think Chris Christie was one of his close friends. I think it's very interesting to see all of the people that Craig came in and out of contact with, but how so many people were so blind to what was really happening right under their nose. Even though there's so much that I did enjoy, and overall, I really did find this documentary very interesting to watch. There were some issues with the documentary. Now, I don't know if his family didn't want to participate, but I think because he does talk about some bad things that happened to him in his childhood, it would have been nice to hear from some of his family members to really understand, like, what was their reaction. Could they see the signs that there was something wrong happening with Craig as far as his gambling addiction, but also too kind of what their thoughts were as, you know, he's in the heat of it. Also too with getting arrested, going to jail, going to court. You know, I really wanted to hear their side of the story. Like, we heard from the co-workers, which is fine, and close, like a close friend, but I really wanted to get that family piece to really understand, you know, what his family was seeing, who's with him, you know, at night versus what his coworkers are seeing. Also, too, there's a narration voiceover that happens. It's basically Craig reading from a journal about his time in prison. I found those tidbits to be very distracting. When they would pop up, it would kind of just take me out of the documentary for a moment. And I really didn't feel as though that portion of it was needed. Now, overall for me, I have to say it was very interesting, especially as they delved into like what he was doing, like why was it wrong, like where he went wrong in that instance. It was very interesting to hear that, on top of also just the stories of how much money he will win and lose in 3 minutes and an hour. Those stories were really crazy. I was just like, wow, like, you really had a problem. And I just don't even understand how no one saw this. But overall for me, I think that if you were fans of the Boomer and Carton show, or if you're interested in Craig Carton, I would definitely recommend this documentary for you. Even if you are like someone like me who didn't necessarily watch the show, I still found it entertaining enough to watch. It's a 75-minute documentary. It really goes by like that. and it held my attention, and I just learned a crazy story about gambling. I don't even want to go to a casino anymore after watching this documentary. But those are my thoughts on Wild Card, the downfall of a Radio Loudmouth. As always, my name is Sharana from Para Waits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000, and until I see you again,